What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So in this video I want to teach us how to make this simple dress. It's called an A-line petal wrap dress. I use a satin, 2 yards of satin. You can use crepe and you can use any other fabric of your choice. So let's move on. So I have my white satin here. It's 1.5 and then 1/2 inch of yellow, 1/2 yard, sorry. So I folded my fabric into 4 parts, leaving a zipper allowance at the back. I've marked my shoulder to chest measurement, which is 9, shoulder to waist, and then my full length. I've gone ahead to mark half of my across back measurement plus 0.5 for sewing allowance. I've also marked the same thing at the chest point and connected them with a straight ruler. So at the neck point I marked 3.5 for the neck width, and then I also went down by 4 inches for the neck depth, and then I later went in by 1 inch for the back depth. So I connected all my lines together. We can use a curve ruler. So at the shoulder point I marked down 1 inch for shoulder slope, and then at the armhole area I marked half of the armhole right there, and from that point I went in by 0.25 for the back, and I connected my armhole together. I also went in by 0.5 for the front, and I did the same thing. I went ahead to mark quarter of my bust measurement, and I added 1/2 inch for ease, and then 1 inch for sewing allowance. So at the bottom part of the dress I marked quarter of my hip measurements plus 3 inches since it's an A-line dress. And then from my chest point I connected the line together from the chest point to the bottom part. Please don't mind the back, I'll be cutting that place off. And then I went in from the waist measurement by 1 inch because I want you to have a nice curve. So I went in at the bottom part by 1 inch and then made a nice curve at that place. So I also went ahead to cut out my lines. I cut out the back face, followed by the front, including the necklines. So since I want the front part to be a wrap, I'll open up the front part, and from the shoulder part of the front part one side I'll mark half of the shoulder part there, and then from the midpoint of my dress I went in by 5 inches and connected with a nice curve. You can go ahead and come in as much as you want, but it's better to have more than to have less. So I went ahead to cut it. Cut the same thing on the yellow satin to have a duplicate, right sides facing each other, and then I went ahead to cut it out. So this is what I have for the front. As I said, you can go in as much as you want at the curve part. It all depends on you. So I've gone ahead to cut a facing for the front. The width of the facing is 2 inches. I cut the same facing for the back also. I also went ahead to cut a facing for the curved part of the front because I wanted to have a nice finish. I did the same thing to the other side. So I've gone ahead to knitting all my parts together. I've gone ahead to knitting them together. So what I will do next is to knitting the curved part of the front with the facing I cut. I'll go ahead and sew it, and then I will notch it. Since it's a curve, I will notch it, and after notching I will understitch so that it will be able to lay flat after ironing. So I've gone ahead to understitch. This is how it looks. I'll give it a very good press, and I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is what it looks like after sewing the curved parts. What I'll do next is to join the back shoulder to the front shoulder. And then afterwards I'll attach my facing to the neckline. So I've gone ahead to do that. I've attached the facing. I've also gone ahead to attach my zipper. I have the link in the description box below on how to attach invisible zip. I've attached my 2 sleeves. So what I'll do next is to join my sides together with my 1 inch allowance. I've hemmed the back also. I'll do same to the other side, and I'll show you what it looks. So this is it. So what you can do at the side is to give it a very nice straight stitch, but I've decided to add buttons so that it will be able to look a little bit classic. So after attaching, this is how the dress looks like. This is the end product of the dress. I'm so happy I made this. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like, leave any comment in the comment section below.